Alright, time for my round 4 game of this month's MSEM GP. I missed I missed the previous 2 rounds. Well, I mean, I didn't miss it, but I didn't get to record anything for the previous 2 rounds because my opponents dropped. So I'm playing Prowess against Mono Black, which is not a good matchup. But this hand's interesting. It doesn't have a 1-drop, but it's really good otherwise. Like, this hand's good if I keep drawing lands, but I don't know if I can rely on that. But at the same time, I don't want to go down on cards against a deck with that much discard. Let me double check like what I'm actually dealing with in terms of discard. They only have Valdez. They don't have that much discard. Yeah, maybe I go down to 2 then, or I go down by 1. And this hand is certainly a lot better, I think. I definitely keep Mindstorm's Eye. Do I pitch from the Galvin Coal lines? Next turn I can go. So turn 2 I can go Zev Extremes. Yes, I guess I do pitch one of the coal lines then. And so I have turn 1 Seeker and into turn 2 Nazev. Unless they discard me turn 1, in which case that's still fine. I do need to fetch the... Actually, I can fetch Island right now because I don't have red for next turn. Yeah, I have to fetch Crystal Caverns, so I will be losing a lot of life, but hopefully it won't matter too much because I'm the aggressor. And hopefully they just don't do anything super impact. Oh, well, yeah, that also works. So I get to Nazev, copy it, and then they have to use 2 more removal spells. Do they have main board double kill? They have 2 main board Wave of Decay, which is not good for me, but they can't use it that early. But yeah, I am losing a lot of life from this though, so I'm not super happy about that, but whatever. I'll survive somehow. But yeah, I'll just like take my damage right now and get my copy of the Zev Enforcer. I mean, this is a really good start for me. And then next turn, if these guys don't get answered, I just strong arm and then I make another copy. And then after that, I guess if I get a land, or a strong arm gets me a treasure too, so I will be able to Mindstorm's Eye after this. Unless they have discard spells. I mean, they're likely to have discard spells, I think. It seems like they're going for discard. Oh no, they're playing a 2-drop. I think they're deciding between a 2-drop or 1-drop plus discard. Yeah, they're thinking. Or maybe it's because they have, like, okay, they're just going to hard remove my guys during my turn. Do they have more instant speed removal? No, all they have is a bunch of Temerations, and they already spent 2, so unless they drew all 3, I think I'm pretty safe using Strong Arm here. I still do need to worry about... actually no, they were thinking about whether they want to wait until my turn, because I have ways to give my guys hexproof at instant speed. So right now, I can keep land in hand for against Valdez or stuff like that. Well, I mean, I always strong arm here. Question is, what do I do afterwards? Or actually, I can either strong arm or I can Mindstorm's Eye, and then that draws me a new hand of cards. But that leaves it very vulnerable to discard spells, which I'm not happy about. How good am I at top decking? I have 2 Nizev Enforcers in play after this, so I think I'm alright with top decking. So then, actually, do I keep Mindstorm's Eye then? So that means next turn I can go Galvin Coal Line. But if I draw a land, then I'm not going to bother. Okay, anyways, so let's see if this goes through. I think the answer is yes, so I'll just go ahead with, yeah. And again, do I keep Galvin Coal Line? So what possible discard would they have that I need to worry about? I guess they can Valdez low. Is Valdez their only discard? Yeah, so they could, if they have Valdez, they're probably going to Valdez high, actually. So the only reason to keep around Galvin Coal Line is if I want to trigger my Nizev Enforcers next turn. I mean, that could matter. Actually, I think I've convinced myself to do that, so I will keep Coal Line in hand and make another copy of Nizev end of turn. If they Wave of Decay both my Nizev Enforcers, then that's kind of bad, but I get to recover with Mindstorm's Eye, so I think I'm alright if that happens. I think that's going to happen. Yeah, so maybe I should have used my Galvin Coal Line then, but whatever, it's fine. Guardian Stars, okay, that was 1 turn too late. That's unfortunate. But anyways, Galvin Coal Line, I actually have to pay twice for this to work out, so I'm not thrilled about this, but whatever. I got Mindstorm's Eye off without it getting discarded, so I have a fresh grip now. And if I have enough hasters, then I can just kill them from hand. Well, this time I have another Mindstorm's Eye. I guess next turn I Scorch Mindstorm's Eye, or Scorch Mindstorm's Eye Galvin Coal Line and see what happens. I do have decent amount of mana going into next turn too. I'll have access to 5 mana. And they're going to play Arik Soul Weaver. Do I kill that? I think I am incentivized to kill that. If they have a discard spell, then that's okay. That's bad. Are they naming high? I think they always name high here, which is not good for me. So that means I need to use the Scorch on Soul Weaver, and then okay, yeah, that's bad for me. And I kind of need to win game 1 because the game gets a lot worse for me post board because they bring in all the removal and I don't get to bring in anything useful. Yeah, so what am I looking at for top decks? I don't think I have any good top decks. Festival Sabotage, yeah, the problem is that now I have a lot of draws that don't do anything if I don't have a creature on board. And I also don't have a way to haste my guys from hand. So I think at this point I just keep cards in hand and try to play the long game. Yeah, I think I'm kind of forced to do that. So I'll Scorch the Auric Soul Weaver. And then I hope that they don't have any discards coming up, and I top deck a combination of cards that will let me kill from hand. I mean, like, so I have 2 copies of the Haste Prowess 1-drop. If I get that, then now I can actually start doing damage from hand. And Festival Sabotage, so it's like +3 damage with that thing. The Goblin Call is +4. Cecilius, yeah, that's concerning. And they're going to mines to get back Arik Soul Weaver, it seems. And I can't do anything about that. So I can't kill Cecilius. Might actually be worth doing. Oh, Enraptured Countess. So I can clear the board and get an Enraptured Countess in play. And without spending my treasure. But that empties my hand. But maybe that's worth it. Is it worth it? That leaves me open to like Mindstorm's eye top decks. I mean, if I don't deal with the board, what happens? Cecilius gets to tick up, and then that means I have to discard stuff. Actually, does Extreme Speed do anything? I can like Extreme Speed and Rapid Countess, put Festival Sabotage onto it. That makes it big enough to kill Cecilius in a single swing. And that also empties my hand, but then they Arik Soul Weaver and put a counter on it and it dies. I think I do want to end up with a big enough Rapid Countess, so maybe I do Extreme Speed from the yard, but then I can't kill Arik Soul Weaver. That's the problem. I can't do both things. Maybe I do keep Coal Line in hand and just sack the treasure. I mean, they're like basically equivalent mana-wise, right? So I guess I'll go for that. So Enraptured Countess, Tails. Actually, no, I have to spend everything in order to get Enraptured Countess. In order to make the Enraptured Countess play work out. So I guess I do that. I mean, I kind of have, I think I'm like priced into doing that, so I will do that. I'm not happy about that, but whatever. Like, oh wait, actually, I could have, if I held on for a bit longer, I could have actually Mindstorm's eyed with Enraptured Countess, right? 1, 2, 4, 5. Yeah, maybe I misplayed there. Total thing will have cost 6 mana. Okay, well, it's too late to change my mind now. I've already played out my Enraptured Countess, so yeah, I guess I'm going for it. I need to kill that. And then I'm just hoping for good top decks and for my opponent to have bad top decks, right? Which is, I mean, that's something I've always done, so let's hope this time it works out. I think it just works out less good this time because I don't have Bite Blitz in yard. I think like a lot of the power of the deck just comes from having Bite Blitz in yard, because then that means that now suddenly even though you're top decking, you still have a haste giving card in your yard. That means you have a lot of top decks that just kill them from nowhere. But since I don't have that available, I kind of just have to top deck individually good cards, which well, that's the Bite Blitz I was looking for. Do I just use it? Yeah, I think I kind of have to use it. Do they outrace me, actually? I'm pretty sure they're more than happy to trade a Raptor Countess for a Bite Blitz. And I can't outsize the Valdez if I use this. I mean, maybe they're also drawing emptying at this point. If I use 2 Bite Blitz, then I do outsize the Valdez, but then they just block it, and then I traded a Bite Blitz for a Valdez, which, I mean, that's not a horrible trade, all things considered. So alternatively, I can wait for an opponent to slam me with Valdez, and then hopefully get a good combination of cards to win with. Okay, so but best case scenario, I draw Omfe. What happens? There's no difference between Bite Blitz in yard and Bite Blitz in hand. Okay, yeah, in that case, I think I've convinced myself to just attack here with Bite Blitz and Rapid Countess. Let's see if they trade. I'm assuming they definitely trade here. Okay, they do trade. Okay. And they're up to 6 lands now, and Mine's Contagion. That hits me, that also hits me. That thing. Oh, actually no, that thing doesn't have haste yet, but I do get whacked for 2 from midden, swarming midden. And then now I have to let's scorch. Do I hold this thing? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I hold the scorch. I mean, if I hold the scorch, do I just die there? No, it's non-creatures only. So if I like just shoot a scorch at their face, they go down to 8, and then I still don't win after. Yeah, I think I just lose here. So that means I think I have to scorch minus contagion to not die. Which actually puts me in a really bad spot. Okay, yeah, I think I've convinced myself to like do this. I don't like it, but I have to. Because like if that thing hits me, then that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage, and then I cast 2 more spells and die. But they're playing a 6 drop. Oh, cool. Alright, is there like any top deck? Maybe Mindstorm's Eye? Well, Bite Blitz is not useful right now. So yeah, that's unfortunate. I kind of drew my cards in the wrong order. And maybe I couldn't have done anything differently. Alright, so that's bad, and post-board, the matchup gets even worse for me because they bring in all their instant speed removal, and I don't have anything to bring in. So funnily enough, is Forked Pillar actually good against them? It actually hits a decent chunk of their deck, but it also misses a big chunk, so I don't think that's good. And I don't think the creatures are actually the problem here, unless they get like... So Profane Emissary is really bad for me, but that's the only creature that I don't like. Anything else I don't really want a Sunken Ambition. Okay, so maybe 1 Spell Pierce to like deal with Wave of Decay, and then -1 Festival Sabotage because... Actually, no, this thing's still removal though. Maybe -1 Strong Arm because I don't want my strong arms thing, or no, if I'm doing that sort of cut, then I should be cutting Festival Sabotage. Yeah, I guess I'd run this. Like, I don't actually have a good sideboard plan against them, so I'll just try to board like this. Oh, actually this hand, it has Autumn Fade plus a bunch of ways to buff it. I think I keep this. And Magmac Torrent, does it need to fetch a red source on 1? I don't think so. I can just, like, take it slow. Unfortunately, Seeker of Mysteries is also not that great on its own, but okay. Well, the good news is they don't have anything good to duress. They take extreme speed here, but I still have Bite Blitz, so I'm still happy. And now they know I have On Phase, so they're definitely keeping up removal. Or actually, no, okay, that's really convenient. So I guess I just go Nazeb Enforcer and go nuts there. Yeah, top decking Nazeb Enforcer was a huge save for me. Does mean that I'm like I have a single on Fey in I have a single on Fey in hand now, but I mean that's fine. So I need to start top decking Mindstorm's Eye so I can draw out of this. Also, yeah, it would have been nice if I had extreme speed in hand, but whatever. And I don't think they board. I mean, they have more Wave of Decays, but I don't think, or they don't actually have any board wipes in the board. So, like, if they want to use entire Wave of Decay to deal with my board, or my 2 Initiative Enforcers, I'm fine with that happening. You're going to Valdez, my last card in hand. Okay. Well, it happened, and so now, yeah, just really hoping for good top decks. Or actually, if they don't remove my other Niv Enforcer, I just Bite Blitz. Okay, Green Drinking Kabbalist, sure. So do I Bite Blitz here? To clone my... Oh, well, that makes my decision a lot easier. Actually, I can Bite Blitz both in the Zev Enforcers, which is really funny, actually, because it leaves Bite Blitz in danger of being exiled, but it clones both my Zev Enforcers, so, like, again, like, they don't actually have a big board wipe, they only have Wave of Decay, which only kills 2 things. So yeah, I mean, I just, do I, like, what, do I need more blue sources? No, I don't think so. I'll just save, or I'll try to just save life here. So, Bite Blitz number 1, buff my board. Too bad this thing doesn't get trample. Although, like, I think I'm already really happy with the outcome right now, so I can't complain too much. Yeah, I have to buff here in order to get this thing over the threshold. So yeah, and if you don't exile my graveyard, I have another Bite Blitz coming next turn. And they gain 1 off Kabbalist. But yeah, I mean, I can't complain too much about how... Let me just... yeah, clone hotkey. Alright, let's see how you deal with this board state. If you try to Wave of Decay me, you won't be able to clear out the Bite Blitz from my yard. And anything else doesn't wipe my entire board, so I'm pretty sure you just die next turn. And also, like, I do also get to draw a card, so if I get anything that's useful, you probably also die next turn. They play Swarming Midden, and they play... Yeah, okay, there's Wave of Decay. They killed 2 things, but I still have 2 Nizeb Enforcers floating around. Okay, I think I keep this in hand, because to incentivize my opponent to use discard spells. Did I forget? Okay, I forgot to exile my other Bite Blitz from earlier. The Bite Blitz, whack them down to some small amount, and then hope that, and I have a decent number of burn spells that I can top deck. But yeah, this is like a game where the Zev Enforcer goes the distance alongside Bite Blitz. Unfortunately, I only get 1 clone this time, but I think that's still more than enough to really put the pressure on my opponent. Unless they have another Wave of Decay, but they have to spend their entire turn Wave of Decaying, right? Like they go up to 4 mana, Wave of Decay me, so they go up to 3 and then Seeker plus a burn spell kills. Or they Wave of Decay for 2 and then play a blocker. Yeah, that's okay, that's a lot of Wave of Decays. Or oops. Okay, so any top deck still kills them, which is good for me. Or any spell top deck. If I get a land top deck right now, that'd be really tragic. Okay, well that's even easier. Yeah, you're dead. Cool. I don't even have to think. So that was an insane game. Yeah, so that's that's sort of what needs to happen for me to win. Unfortunately, they're on the play next game, which is not good for me. And they're probably going to they don't actually have that many targets for Fork Pillar, right? Because they're just running out the removal. They're probably holding up removal on 1 instead of playing out small guys. And like Fork Pillar has way too high of a risk of just being dead, I think, for me to bring in here. So I'll leave it out. And then Festival Sabotage would have been good there, because it's reach. Maybe I trim it in extreme speed. Okay, sure. And this hand has, actually, yeah, I think I keep this. So it has a 1-drop. Unfortunately, I need to fetch the Pain Land because I want to get my colors early. They're going to turn 1 this. Oh no, they're going to play Vein Drinker, which is really annoying. Okay, well that makes things easier. Yeah, that means I can actually fetch red. Or no, if I fetch mountain or if I fetch island right now, that means I can't go festival into Scorch next turn, which is something I want to do, possibly. Well, I guess I'll just have to eat the cost. Yeah, I like that. I can't get everything I want. But I might as well get some of what I want, which is play out Seeker of Mysteries on 1, because I need 1-drops to force my opponent to interact early. So since I have Mindstorm's Eye, it means I'm a lot more incentivized to just play out my things into removal. The worst case scenario for me is if I try to jam my entire hand into their hand and then, okay, well this isn't a choice because it has Menace. Yeah, worst case scenario is I try to jam my hand into their hand and then they get to answer and then they discard my Mindstorm's Eye. Mountain. Okay, it would have been nice if I drew that earlier. So now that I'm thinking back on it, maybe I definitely could have Festival Sabotaged last turn instead of playing out a 1-drop, because Vancouver's Kabbalist making treasures is also really bad for me. So what can I actually do this turn? I can jam on Fate, but that's like really bad into Wave of Decay, so I won't do that. Actually, anything I play right now is really bad into Temeration. So I should just try to get rid of Vein Drinker's Kabbalist. So then that means my entire turn is just Festival Sabotage, Scorch the Vein Drinker. That feels extremely bad, but maybe that's correct. Not Scorch, but Festival or Scorch. Scorch kills the 3-drops, so I think I do Festival Sabotage instead. But yeah, turns out I probably just play out the turn wrong. And do I Galvan Coal Line this turn? I guess I do, just to or no, there's no reason to Galvan Coal Line this turn. I'll just keep the Coal Line in my back pocket. And yeah, I have to do this, which feels really bad. But this is probably correct, which is kind of surprising, in all honesty. But I definitely should have done that 1 turn earlier. If I'd done it 1 turn earlier, then well, they wouldn't have. Are they trying to save this guy? But yeah, if I played this thing 1 turn earlier, then I wouldn't have Seeker out, but they also wouldn't have the treasure. So then it would probably just go in to turn 2. Either both of us are untapped, or something else happens. Oh, do they have a 1 damage thing? If I get them to use a 1 damage thing right now, that'd be really good. Okay, they let it die. Cool. So I smack them for 2 and pass the turn, which is not what I want to be doing when I have a lot of cards in hand and a Mindstorm's Eye. But I think next turn maybe I just jam Like if they remove this guy, then I'll jam an Onfei and probably a Scorch if they if they play a 3-drop or a 4-drop, I'll go Valdez high. I mean, no, they're going to Valdez low. Okay, that's actually really good because that means Mindstorm's Eye survives. So if they play a random 3-drop, I'll just Mindstorm's Eye it, I guess. So wait, this probably isn't a good time to Mindstorm's Eye stuff. I mean, I have the Mindstorms discarding 3 cards, but they're not the best cards in the world, so I guess I'm fine if that happens. I think best case for me is that they don't play anything that I need to Mindstorm's Eye, so that I get to deploy Fairy or Onfei and force them to deal with it before I Mindstorms them. Also, like, this is a huge change from the Nazev game I had last game. So yeah, Nazev Enforcer is pretty big. Oh, they're just going to Wave of Decay a single thing. Does that mean they have more Wave of Decays in hand? I think that definitely means that. Either that or they have more discard in hand. So like, if they have more discard in hand, so they have 3 Duress and 4 Valdez in deck. They might want to Valdez me next turn. They can discard plus Wave of Decay. So I just want to avoid the situation where that happens. How can I avoid that from happening? I just played Onfei, and then next turn I co-line Pupil. No, I just play Pupil. I can deploy Pupil alongside Mindstorm's Eye, so I guess I just play Onfei and pass. Yeah, I guess that's what I do. So that way Wave of Decay doesn't absolutely wreck me. Like if they Wave of Decay plus discard, at least I have Pupil left over. Pupil plus Scalp and co-line does... I don't know what it does, but like it probably does elite something. Well, actually my opponent doesn't know about the Pupil, so for all they know I top deck the land, and that's why I'm only playing out Onfei. They're up to 4 mana now. Well, at least good news. Oh, well, yeah, they had discard. And they're going to discard Mindstorm's Eye. I forgot about the exposes that they get to bring in. No, they're playing main deck exposes. Oh, 4 expose. Right, so they're playing exposes instead of pay up. So they did have like 8 discard spells main. So maybe I should have Mindstorm's Eyed. Well, I can always top deck more Mindstorm's Eyes, at least. Oh, Strong Arm. Okay, so the problem here is that if I do anything funny with my Onfei, my opponent's just going to kill it. I mean, this isn't the worst time in the world to go for stuff, and maybe they don't have more Wave of Decays. No, the fact that they wasted their first one signals to me that they definitely have another one. So I guess the best way for me to do this is try to do funny stuff with Onfei, and then if my opponent doesn't like that, then I can keep these guys in hand. Like, they're vulnerable to hand attack, but I think they're out of hand attack by now. Or actually, what are the chances that they actually have instant speed removal? They have 4 Temerations. Is that only... they also have Anapraxia's Endeavor. Okay, so they have 8 instant speed removals in their deck somewhere. I think that's like likely enough where I do want to play around it. So the thing is, also they can, if they have enough mana, they go next turn they just play a land and then also or they play a thing and also hold up the instant speed removal. Yeah, I think I'm just going to Galvin Co-Line right now, or do I can play this thing tapped, which isn't a good use of my mana. Yeah, I think like the way that they've been playing, I feel like they definitely have Wave of Decay number 2 in hand, so I won't play into it. And they still don't know about my Strong Arm, right? So like, for all they know, this is... well, no, I definitely don't have a land here, or else I wouldn't have played out Galvin Co-Line, unless... so yeah, I do have a lot of reason to not do that. So good top decks right now would be Mindstorm's Eye. I'm always looking for more Mindstorm's Eyes. Burn spells would also be good, because then I can just burn face and be happy about it. Nazev Enforcer would actually be good, because I play that thing out and then Nazev doesn't do anything. Yeah, I'm really hoping for a Mindstorm's Eye top deck to pull me out of this. They're just playing out actual Valdez. Alright, it doesn't block Onfei at least. It means that Pupil of Lightning no longer does no longer does useful stuff. Ooh, okay, well, okay, so the play now is going to be, well, now I really wished I played Pupil earlier. Yeah, I guess I'm fine with discarding Pupil. Now I really wish I kept Galvin Co-Line in hand, but I needed to play that thing out so I could buff Onfei. Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, so this turn I go Strong Arm onto Onfei to bait out the removal spell if they have one, and then I Mindstorm's Eye afterwards to get a new hand to work with for next turn. Yeah, that seems solid. Or I can well, if I play out Pupil, it doesn't do anything this turn, so I don't think that's a good use of my time. Yeah, I just swim with Onfei and see if they have removal. They have to have removal, right? They don't? Okay, sure. Well, unfortunately this is less impressive than it looks because on face starts at 0 power. Oh, I could have Mindstorm's I'd pre-comp. Well, too late for that now. So turns out I probably like missed out on a bunch of damage. Do I need to kill Valdez? No, I think I should just go face. And I wonder if they still have removal now. Okay, this would have been even better if I found land in the top, because then I would have been able to protect my Omfei, but I guess this is acceptable. Like Omfei probably died. No, they had no removal. Okay, I definitely should have went for it harder then. Is this a huge wave of decay? Oh, it's a huge Enopraxias. I'm bringing back Bane Drinker. Okay, yeah, like this. Oh, they're doing like a full Enopraxias. Well, at least it didn't snipe anything too important. It did. Actually, it's bad because I have Enraptured Countess in my hand now. And they also gain a bunch of life. Yeah, like if I drew it on top land and Shroud and started my guide, that would have been really nice. And now I'm top decking mountains. Yeah, really wish I had Mindstorm's Eye in my yard at this point, because I actually had enough mana to do the whole thing. Well, in that case, I guess I go Seeker and Raptured and hold up Shroud and Stars. It doesn't seem like they have. Hmm. I do play out my lands because I've Enraptured, so like any top deck becomes really good if I have a bunch of lands out. Yeah, I play out both of these guys, and then I just pass and wait for stuff to happen. If they hand attack me, I guess I Shroud and Stars the Seeker, or do I Shroud Enraptured or Seeker? I think Enraptured it's probably better, because then worst case scenario next turn I fail the Shroud and Stars. So I still have 2 more Mindstorm's Eye in my deck somewhere, so hopefully I draw them. All the pools. Alright, so now any Profane Emissaries become really scary. They're going for big wave of decay. Alright, so time to choose which one to protect. And maybe I do protect. I think in Raptor Countess I protect because at least the better top decks. So I can tail. If I get strong arm, I can like Chain Drinker, yeah. If I find some way of giving trample, and Raptor does stuff, I guess. Okay, that's not what I needed. If I Shroud, if I go for that Shroud play, I don't have trample, so I don't think it's worth it. If I don't go for it, does Enraptured die? I mean, actually, my opponent's empty-handed right now, so I think it's relatively safe. Just let this thing sit back and hope for a better top deck for next turn. I do keep a land in hand though, because if they top deck a discard spell, I want them to use it. I mean, at the same time, like, is there anything better I could draw with Countess? And I think the answer is, if I top deck a Scorch, then Countess suddenly does 6 damage to their face, which could actually be like, would be somewhere near lethal. Yeah, I think I attack with Countess here. Actually, no, there's no reason to not attack because I won't be able to block anything anyways. If they want to chump with Bane Drinker, then I'm more than happy to let that happen. They do. Okay, sure. In that case, that gets rid of one of their blockers for the following turn. Did they top deck anything? Did they top deck something insane? I mean, even if they don't top deck anything, they still get to swing in with Swarming Midden every turn. So that means that whatever I top deck needs to be able to beat that. Which again, just like, the only thing that helps me win here is, or actually, so if I get Nazev Enforcer, do I have enough spell cast to buff it to make it copy itself? And I think that, yeah, the answer is yes, because Nazev plus Enraptured Countess plus the Shroud and Stars, that's enough triggers plus counters to get Nazev to copy itself. So as long as Enraptured Countess doesn't die, I still have lots of live top decks. And yeah, they're just going to start swinging with these guys, and they actually kill me in next turn if I don't find anything, which is a huge problem actually. And everything has menace, so a single Raptor Countess doesn't block anything. Oh, and yeah, that no, creature enchantment or plane. I can't sack my Galvin Coal line. Well, that Strong Arm came out 1 turn too late. Or not even. It came out not at all. Yeah, I'm dead. Alright, I mean, this was a bad matchup, so it's expected to happen. Maybe there were plays I could have done, like turn 1, like a turn 1 Festival Sabotage instead of playing out the creature. I don't think it ended up mattering in the end, because my opponent just used their treasure token to pay into a bigger wave of decay. But like, I guess it technically could have influenced my fetching decisions, and also, I mean, it would have made my turn 2 better, right? Because then I go like Seeker. It wouldn't have made my turn 2 any better either. did I know I had Mindstorm's Eye back then? Like, if I knew that, maybe I would have just jammed on Fey into an empty board and on turn 2, and yeah, I don't know. But yes, so it looks like looks like I won't be top cutting with this deck, which is unfortunate, but yeah. And I'm pretty sure the Zev Enforcer is going to be taking out the back at the end of the month. It's definitely getting nerfed. Like, game 2 showed exactly what this card could do, and it like the Zev Enforcer is also contributing a lot to the explosiveness of the deck. So once this thing's nerfed, blue red Prowess is probably like not as good. Actually, I think the only reason the main reason I went into blue in the first place was because I noticed that the Zev Enforcer is nuts with these buff spells. But now that we don't have the Zev Enforcer next month, the only reason you're in blue is because you have Mindstorm's Eye. Like, Seeker is whatever. You're not going into blue just to get a Seeker of Mysteries into your Prowess deck. So the only real reason to be in blue is Mindstorm's Eye and I guess Shrouding Stars, which is like comparable to Blossoming Defense in green. So like you don't really want to go especially into blue for that. So I don't really see a big reason for Prowess decks to super favorite blue once these guys get nerfed. So it's pretty much like green Prowess and blue Prowess become pretty even at that point because all your creatures are coming from all your creatures and a lot of your buff spells are coming from red, and then in blue you get Shrouding Stars plus Mindstorm's Eye for more sustain, and then in red you get access to like Blossoming Defense. So like you get access to Blossoming Defense, and then I guess you also get access to Bang Jaws. Is that what it's called? Yeah, and you also get access to this thing, which I've never been a huge fan of because it makes your land sequencing really awkward. But yeah, so that's the end of my run this month. Thanks for watching. I guess I only managed to record 2 games because, like I said, I think my opponent no showed during round 2, and then round 3 stuff happened. So like I ended up not posting it. But yeah, that's enough talking for now. So I'll be signing off.